Starting up on YouTube. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for important and interesting happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of our information come from the website onthisday.com and the smart device applications, a historical calendar, and Today in History. For links to these sources, anything else, all that stuff, potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below. And as per usual, all links gathered throughout the show will appear post-live stream. Haven't done that in a while, though. Anyway, I am Xander.
King's Refuge.
And you, viewer, are you. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us, watching us at some point. Today is, of course, Tuesday, Tears Day, July 16th, 2024. What do we got here? Do you want to start us off, good Sir King?
No, I'm still getting it together here.
Alright. Starting us off here in 463, we have the start of the lunar cycle of Hilarious. Huh. I don't know what's so funny about this, but let's look this up. Hilarious. Oh, Babylonian calendar. Okay. Cycle of 19 years. The month Aduro 2 was intercalated. Except in the year that was number 17 in the cycle, when the month Ulu 2 was inserted instead. So that's kind of sounds like a leap year type of mechanic there. But, yeah. Moving on up into 622, the Muslim era began. Muhammad began flight from Mecca to Medina, Hijra. Alright. So not just the lunar cycle of Hilarious, but now we have some Muslim calendars and stuff going on as well. 1504, we 1054. I dyslexiated the letters or the numbers there for a second. The great schism between Western and Eastern churches began when Roman Cardinal Humbert issued a bull of excommunication against Aurelius, Patriarch of Constantinople, on the altar of the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. So here we go again, like the whole fight between the emperors and the popes and whatever, like, who's in charge? Like, hey, I don't have to listen to you. I'm the emperor. Well, I don't have to listen to you. I'm the pope.
Yeah, I'm the pope.
Yeah.
I'm ordained by God. I'm ordained by the people.
I'm voted in by God.
Rabble.
Yep. 1099. Crusaders herded Jews of Jerusalem into a synagogue and set it on fire. That's not nice.
Oh boy!
Wow. Yeah, that's a war crime right there. The year 1212, the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa, the Battle of Al-Uqab, a combined Christian army defeated Almohad Muslim force, in a turning point for Muslim power on the Iberian Peninsula. Which I think is, once again, Muslim again. Where is the Iberian Peninsula? Let's look this up here. Images. Why is it showing me Newark, New Jersey? Iberia Peninsula restaurant? I don't want the... Oh, no. That's where Spain is. Okay. So that's the Iberian Peninsula. It's the lower part of France, Spain, Portugal... what are these? The Balearic Islands, I think, if I'm right, I'm not sure. But yeah, no, all of this used to be Muslim land at one point, way back in the. So this is when it started to turn in 1212. I always wondered that. 1251. By the way, King, if you ever want to read one, just let me know. Like.
All right. 1251. The Virgin Mary gives Simon Scott a brown scapular. What a scapular is what you slice somebody open with for surgery, right?
That's a scalpel. Scapular, it appears to be the bone, like in your back, the big shoulder plate.
Oh, yeah.
So they gave him a brown scapular, or no.
Bone?
There's also this a traditional religious thing. It's it's like a necklace thing. Like you see these here.
Hold on. I gotta watch your screen. There we go. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see like these necklace things?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently the Virgin Mary herself, which is weird because, this is 1,251 years after, Jesus' death and all that stuff. So the Virgin Mary would not be around? Question mark. Or is this her coming down from heaven and giving? Because it says here legend, according to legend. So I don't know much about religious history and all that stuff. I wish Arlene Atkinson was here. I know she's a Christian. She could probably tell us a little bit more about this. So, anyway, what else do we got here?
1338, the 6 electors of the Holy Roman Empire signed the Agreement of Rheims, confirming Emperor Louis IV.
Oh, okay. So, like a little bit of a vote, type situation.
At 1377, Richard II, aged 10, crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey, succeeding his father, Edward III.
Grandfather. Yes. So, wow, so it didn't even go to the father. Like,
I was gonna say, so his grandkid became the king.
Yeah. That has to be annoying, like, to be the son of the king and then have your son be the next king. It's just like, wait a minute, I got skipped. This is not right.
Hey,
like, this is horse shit. Well, maybe his dad was dead. maybe his dad was dead or something. We don't know. Like, that could have been why. Moving on up, do you want to take 1439? Because this one was interesting. Like, when I first read it.
Here we go. Government coming in, trying to save the day. Kissing is banned in England to stop the Black Death from spreading.
Yeah, of course. No, I have a feeling that the King of England was just not getting any action. He was getting all jealous of all the peasants kissing in the streets.
Can't go outside. You gotta stay in your side for 2 weeks while we the curse.
Kissing is banned because I can get no action. Thus decrees King Enceladus the First. Incel. So, yeah. 1519, a public debate between Martin Luther and theologian Johann Eck at Pleasenberg Castle in Leipzig, during which Luther denied the divine right of the Pope. Ooh, that's if he hadn't been executed by then, he'd be certainly now. that is an excommunication scenario right there. So 1548, La Paz in Bolivia was founded. So if anybody watches this and they're in La Paz, then happy birthday, La Paz. 1615, we have a nighttime naval battle off the coast of Peru between Dutch fleet led by Joris Spilbergen and Spanish fleet carrying silver. 2 Spanish ships sunk. Oh. All right. Now here we go.
1618, Captain John Gilbert patents first dredger in Britain.
Yeah, you know what a dredger is, right?
Boat, right?
Yeah, essentially like a flat bottom boat or some kind of like sea craft that dredges. It scrapes and extends the bottom. Dredges. The canal. The lake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
things that make the lakes and canals.
Yeah, like it scrapes all the silt and all the stuff off the bottom to keep it like keep it at a certain depth, keep it at a certain width and all that stuff. Or if there's been any disaster, you got to get all the debris out of there and all that whatnot. So as I said at the top of the show, answer questions you don't even realize you had. I'm sure a lot of people out there are like, when was the first dredger? Well, now we know.
It seems what?
Yep.
1672, William III becomes stadholder of Zealand.
I'm going to look up stadholder, but you skipped one in 1661 here.
1661, first banknotes in Europe are issued by Bank of Stockholm. Ooh.
Wow. Yeah.
We want our gold money back.
Yeah, well, like, that's what banknotes originally were. They were a promissory note of a 1-to-1 equivalent of whatever the gold standard was. Like, instead of going around carrying heavy metal coins, you have light paper currency. Like, and then the credit cards came in, and everything got even worse. But But a stadholder in the Low Countries, a stadholder was a steward, first appointed as a medieval official and ultimately functioning as a national leader. The stadholder was a replacement of the duke or count of a province during the Bulgarian and Habsburg period. Huh. Alright, so he became like basically an equivalent of a duke or something of Zealand. Alright. 1755, John Adams graduated high school. Or not high school, but Harvard. Sorry, I don't know why I said high school. He graduated Harvard. Cool, John Adams. He would eventually become the second president, of the U.S. He was also a founding father. 1769, Father Junipero Sierra founded Mission San Diego, the first mission in California. Hey, hey.
Oh.
Yeah. That's my neck of the woods there. So, what does Mission San Diego even look like? Hold on a second. Mission San Diego, 1769. Let's see. Okay, so here it was, the very first mission of California. And actually, I think I might have actually seen this, because I was in San Diego a few years back, and there's this one area in town, and it was like, I think I've been here. I think I might have been here. Like, hold on a second. Map. Give me a map here. Okay, well, they're not going to give me an actual map here, so let me go back to images. Actually, I can just do this here. Mission San Diego, 1769. De Alcala. Oh, I might not have been here. This is deeper in than I initially thought. So, wherever it was, on this dot, that little red dot over there, you can't really see it that well. But it's up in this area here. I was not up in that area, so I have not been there. But I'd like to go there. That's some pretty significant history right there. What do we got here in 1782?
1782, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's opera Die Entführung aus dem Serial. In English, The Abduction from Seraglio premieres in Vienna with Mozart conducting.
Huh. I just gotta play it. Like,
Amadeus. Oh, Amadeus.
Falco, rock me Amadeus.
Rock me Amadeus.
And pausing it to prevent copyright.
Copyright!
Yeah. But yeah. Alright. Oh, hey, King, you get to talk about another king.
1789, French King Louis XVI reinstates Jacques Necker as finance minister following riots at his dismissal.
That is a very dangerous name to have in these times. Jacques Necker? Like,
Jacques Necker.
And like, look at, he has a weird neck. Like, he looks like a deflated balloon. Like, but yeah, no, like, the people spoke. Like, there was riots as his dismissal, and like, as I've always said. That's
crazy. A finance minister?
Yeah. I mean, the people want what they want, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how powerful you are, if you're a president, if you're a prime minister, if you're a dictator, if you're a fascist, if you're a communist, if you're, like, whatever. If you are leading people, you're only there because the people will it. And if you do anything against the wishes of the people, then you better, like, counteract your actions immediately, or it's not going to end well for you, especially if you're French, Like, they don't mess around. And we can really use some of that attitude, you know, in this country right now. So, especially after what happened, like, you know, like, the people got to stand up and do what's right. So, anyway, what do we got here in 1790?
1790. 1790, Congress declares the city of Washington and the District of Columbia the permanent capital of the United States.
Yes, and this is why we have, this is the thumbnail to today's episode. A lot of people, like, you know, it's out there, and a lot of people do know this, but a lot also don't. The way the streets are laid out, and this was intentional, like, you know, the designer of the Capitol, or what would become the Capitol, was also a Freemason. There's a pentagram and a compass and square, the Freemasons' insignia, in the road layout of Washington, D.C. Like, if you look at my screen, King, you'll see what I'm talking about. They have it outlined here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you already knew about this. But, I mean, you know, like if you look at the back of a dollar, there's Masonic imagery, you know, the all-seeing eye on the pyramid, you know? Like, I mean, so, but this is when it was going to become the permanent capital. And yeah, so. Moving on up, what do we got here? 1801, Pope Pius VII and First Consul Napoleon signed a Concord. Now, I want to know what is this, because that's Napoleon Bonaparte, of course. But what was this Concord? Concordat of 1801. It remained in effect until 1905, so 104 years, except in Alsace-Lorraine, where it remains in force. So it still remains in force to this day, 200 some odd years later. It remained in effect until, okay, we got that. It sought national recognition between the French Revolution and Catholics and solidified the Roman Catholic Church as the majority church of France, with most of its civil status restored. This resolved the hostility of devout French Catholics against the revolutionary state. It did not restore the vast church lands and endowments that had been seized during the Revolution and sold off. Catholic clergy returned from exile or from hiding and resumed their traditional positions in their traditional churches. Very few parishes continued to employ the priests who had accepted the civil situation or civil constitution of the clergy of the revolutionary regime. While the Concordat restored much power to the papacy, the balance of church-state relations tilted firmly in Bonaparte's favor. He selected the bishops and supervised church finances. Bonaparte and the Pope both found the Concordat useful. Similar arrangements were made within the church and territories controlled by France, especially in Italy and Germany. So this had far-flung, you know, like extra ramifications, like to many other areas in all of Europe. You know, like the trickle-down effect kind of thing. So that's a pretty big Concordia right there. 1809, La Paz in Bolivia declared its independence from the Spanish crown and formed the Junta Tuitiva, led by Pedro Domingo Murillo, the first independent government in Spanish America. Wow.
Right, independence. Woo.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, not really keen on a junta because, you know, that's military controlled and that's very close to a dictatorship, you know. But then again, you know, our you know, country is controlled by the military. Like, you know, every country is controlled by the military, just by how much, you know. But, you know, independence, you know, hey, you know, like, don't look the gift horse in the mouth, as it said. 1819, Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen set sail to explore Antarctica for Tsar Alexander I. And I believe he was the last Tsar, right? No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No, that was Nicholas, sorry. Tsar Nicholas was the last Tsar. I have this off by 100 years. Because it was the communists, the Soviet Union, got rid of the Tsar. What do we got here in 1862?
1862, David Farragut is first Rear Admiral of the U.S. Navy.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Navy. 1867, Amstel Hotel, the dignified old lady, opens in Amsterdam.
Huh. I wonder if it's still around. Amstel Hotel. Ooh. That is a dignified old lady. Look at that. That is a gorgeous hotel.
Very nice.
I wonder if, like, what this glass area out here, is that like an eating area or something? Like,
oh, restaurant? Oh, front area?
the one out here in the front, like with all like the yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's like right on the waterfront. Like here, definitely is a picture of the eating area.
Yeah,
right there. That is nice.
It's too fancy for me.
Yeah, that's opulent right there, man. So I believe it still exists. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, and you got 2 more 67s, and they're both really interesting.
Dr. Averill of Ohio patents ready mixed paint.
Ah.
Alright.
You used to have to mix paint, churn it like butter and all that stuff. Like they have those paint mixers in Home Depot, like the shakers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. And another thing on the construction here.
67, Joseph Moynier patents reinforced concrete. All right.
So, like, is that using rebar or something? Because, like,
I was gonna say, is that when they introduced pruning and rebar?
Yeah, because like, concrete is concrete. I mean, I guess you can put more stuff in the mix to make it like stronger, but reinforced concrete, to my knowledge, is rebar. Like yeah. Huh. Moving on up into 1880, Dr. Emily Stowe became the first woman licensed to practice medicine in Canada. Yo! Cool.
Yay.
Nice.
Go women's.
Yes. 1894, many black miners in Alabama were killed by striking white miners. Yikes.
Ooh.
That's not good. That makes me wonder, like, why were the white miners striking, and why did they get violent against the black miners? Were the black miners scabs? Maybe.
Many black miners.
Yeah.
Tables.
I mean, it didn't say scabs or anything, but it's just...
Wait, were they striking... Are they physically striking, or...
Strike? No, like a union strike, like, we're go on strike, we're not gonna work, like...
The way they word it is...
Yeah.
Dubious.
Well, I have here the bituminous coal miners' strike of 1894, with a result of about 5 deaths, which is not really many.
Should be like going on strike against white miners.
It says here the bituminous coal miners' strike was an unsuccessful national 8-week strike by miners of bituminous coal in the U.S., which began on April 21st of 1894. So this is the same year. The panic of 1893 hit the coal mining industry particularly hard. Wage cuts in the industry began immediately, and wages were slashed again in early 1894.
So it was just miners in general striking.
Yeah, like...
So it's word... That's completely incorrect the way they worded it, right?
Well, not really. I mean, like, once again, our main source is, proven beyond the shadow of a doubt leftist. So they probably worded it like this on purpose to try to be like, oh, look, white supremacy, like, no, like, most people don't do what we're doing right here and looking more into this. But it says here, on May 23rd...
Don't trust anything.
Yeah.
Even us. Call us out on our bullshit. Go look it up.
Yeah. As I always say, never take what I have to say as complete and total truth. Use me, if anything, as a way, as a stepping...
Springboard.
Springboard, thank you. For your own research. But never listen to anybody else. Form your own opinion,
Yes.
It's saying June 13, but that's last month. This is not telling me anything about... so I think this is a different strike. So I don't know. How a mine strike shaped Alabama. Okay, so this is Alabama. Okay, Alabama. So this might be it over here. Okay, so this is... How the mine strike shaped Alabama's racist political destiny for more than 6 decades. Okay, yeah, liberal. So, this is a leftist article right here. So, I'm not gonna find anything. We gotta move on up here.
You're gonna get bombarded with liberal fucking propaganda shit instead of telling the fucking truth.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1894 as well, the Treaty of Akoi-Kimberley was signed between Japan and England. And I wanted to know what that entailed, because Japan and England, they're on opposite sides of the world. So I want to know, like, you know, what this treaty specifically, because, you know, international politics has been going on for, like, hundreds of years. But what does this see? It heralded the end. Okay, it heralded the end of the unequal treaties in the system of extraterritoriality in Japan. The treaty came into force on July 17th, 1899. From that date, British subjects in Japan were subject to Japanese laws instead of British laws. Oh, I'm all for that. The jurisdiction of the British Supreme Court for China and Japan, the British Court for Japan under it, and consular courts, and each treaty port ceased on that date, save for pending cases which were allowed to continue. British subjects from that date became subject to the jurisdiction of Japanese courts. Yes! You know, you're on their land, you abide by their rules. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, where you're at is what that matters. You know? So, this, I'm all for it. This is a great treaty right here. We are going to move on up into 1895. Lancashire batsman Archie McLaren scored the first ever quadruple hundred, 424, in first-class cricket against Somerset at Taunton. All right. 1896, Indian-born K.S. Ranjini debuted for England versus Australia in second test at Old Trafford. First Indian to play test cricket, mate. Oh, look at that. First Indian to play test cricket. Congratulations. Nice. 1 year later, a South African committee investigating the Jameson raid released its report finding that it was conducted almost implicitly through the support and encouragement of Cecil Rhodes and the mining houses in the Transvaal. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds important, so if anybody knows what that means, let us know in the comments section. That'd be swell. Moving on up into 1900, a report appeared in London that all foreigners in Peking, China, have been massacred. Although soon exposed as false, the report helped mobilize support for relief of foreigners. Well, that has been since also proved as true. We reported on this the other day. They went on this one governor went on a genocidal rampage and killed all foreigners, women, children, everybody Christian especially, you know. Like, you know, that culture is xenophobic. They all are, you know. Like, and if you disagree with me, just do some basic research. Like, that's why they all hate each other. Moving on up into 1901, the Fawcett Commission, held by Millicent Fawcett, was established as a result of an outcry against the treatment of Afrikaners in concentration camps during the South African War. What is an Afrikaner? I think it was white people who were down there. Let's see here. Yep. Afrikaners are a southern African ethnic group descended from predominantly Dutch settlers first arriving at the Cape of Good Hope from 1652. Until 1994, they dominated South Africa's politics as well as the country's commercial agricultural sector, apartheid. So, yeah. So that's what an Afrikaner is. All right. 1902, John McGraw became manager of MLB New York Giants. His 30-year tenure began from 1902 to 1932. That is an incredible career, you know, security right there. 2 years later, 1904, islands of Manoa Group, Samoa, were ceded to the U.S. by their chiefs. Probably the same way that we got Hawaii. I'm not entirely sure, though. I don't know any of that for facts. 1909, Major League Baseball, Detroit Tigers and Washington Senators play the longest scoreless game in American League history, 18 innings at Bennett Field in Detroit, Michigan. And scoreless, so it was a none-to-none. So, wow. You know, either they both suck really bad or they're both really good. Like, there cannot be any divulgence between their skill in either extreme. 1912, naval torpedo launched from an airplane, patents by B.A. Fisk. So this guy patented, you know, the system of delivery from airplane to ocean torpedo bombing. 1920, General Amos Freya was appointed the first U.S. Army chemical warfare chief. Yet we needed that. So, especially after all the stuff that happened in the First World War, you know, chemical warfare is, is against the Geneva Convention and all that stuff, but that doesn't stop us from dropping phosphates and whatnot, you know, because as long as we win the conflict, then we don't technically break any international laws. Isn't that right? So, 1921, encouraged by the British, King Constantine of Greece launched a drive to take Asia Minor from nationalists under Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. He was the president and founder of the Republic of Turkey. Ataturk, yeah, Ataturk, hey, attaboy, Ataturk, you know. So, I want his hat. That's a cool hat. Although I'm not sure if I would wear that in Turkey. I'm not sure how cold it gets there. You know, I think it'd be more like temperate, like. You know, it's in that, like not too hot, not too cold area. So, 1924, we have a conference over German recovery payments began in London. Is this World War I reparations or anything? Let me look this up here really quick. That is the wrong button. Copy. There we go. All right. The Dawes Plan. I've heard of this. Temporarily resolve the issues of the reparations that Germany owed to the Allies after World War I. Pardon me. Enacted in 1924, it ended the crisis in European diplomacy that occurred after French and Belgian troops occupied the Ruhr in response to Germany's failure to meet its reparations obligations. So this was World War I reparations involvement. All right. Yeah, 1924. You know, the dates align. So, yeah. What else do we got here? 1924 as well. New York Giants' George Kelly was the first to hit home runs in 6 consecutive games. That's impressive. Getting a home run in one game, you know, is pretty cool. 2 games in a row, 3 games, 4, 5, 6. You know, wow. You're riding high there, buddy. 1925, we have the first parliament in Iraq opened by King Faisal in Baghdad. All right. 1926, Jasper government asked authority to save the Belgian franc. So they're trying to, you know, hold on to their current system of economy. Things are changing, and this guy wanted things to stay the same, you know, or at least, you know, this government wanted it. While that was happening, National Geographic took the first natural color undersea photographs. So I want to see what these look like here, actually. Oh, cool. So, you know, this is one of the first natural color undersea photographs. That is awesome. That is truly awesome. 1927, Augusto Cesar Sandino began a 5.5-year war against the U.S. occupation of Nicaragua. Why were we over there? Like, what were we suppressing? What were we quelling? Did they have oil? You know, did they need it? Did they need some freedom? You know, like were they like, you know, like were we in search of God, gold, oil, and drugs? You know, I don't know. 1935, the first automatic parking meter in the United States was installed in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Gee, thanks. Yeah, because that's what we need. So, 1936, first X-ray photo of arterial circulation, Rochester, New York. Well, let's see if we can find this here. First X-ray photo of arterial. That's your arteries, you know. So would this be it here? Like, that's the first X-ray. That's not really arterial. We can see the lungs, or at least the ribs are blacked out or something. I'm not sure. No, that has to be the lungs, because this must be the heart. Right here. Taking that little chunk out of the black section on the right. We also have 1936 as well. The New York Giants are 10.5 games back in the National League, and they went on to win the pennant. You know, like that's a hell of a comeback right there. Off of main source here, 1938 PGA Championship Men's Golf at Shawnee Country Club. 1934 champion Paul Runyan dominated the heavily favored Sam Snead, 8-7, largest victory margin over in the event's largest victory margin ever in the event's match play format. All right. And in 1940, we have Operation Sea Lion. Hitler ordered preparations for the invasion of Britain. It never went through, you know, and never would have really succeeded. In the best of the best case scenario, they would have gotten a couple miles inland, but would have been easily pushed back to sea because they just did not have the logistics to do such an invasion. So, 1941, we have 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius, the highest temperature ever recorded in Seattle, Washington. So ever. Like, that obviously their state record, you know? Like, wow. So their highest ever. They've only been to 100, eh? Yeah, meanwhile, I've been in 120. So, 1941, Joe DiMaggio went 3 for 4, hitting his 56th straight game. Or in his 56th straight game. Hell yeah. In something that's not so hell yeah, in 1942, French police arrest 13,152 Jews in Paris. That is not good. And while that was going on, Jews were transported from Holland to an extermination camp. Yikes. Absolutely disgusting. And, like, you know, I don't enjoy reading these, believe me. But if we are gonna, you know, if we are gonna learn from history and ensure that tomorrow does not become yesterday, we have got to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly. And believe me, very few things get more uglier than the Holocaust. I mean, you know, there's a lot worse, you know, genocides out there, but just the attitude behind it, like, just... And it wasn't just the Jews, it was gypsies, it was mentally handicapped, physically handicapped. You know, anybody who wasn't able-bodied and able-minded was a target. Very much like exactly what China is doing today, you know? So, moving on up into 1944, Dodgers scored an 8 unearned runs against Braves to win 8-5 and break their 16-game losing streak. They will lose another 5 in a row. Well, then, if they did not earn this, then this would make it a 21-game losing streak, technically. So, like, yeah, weren't they just handed this game or something? Like, you know, just to break the streak. But then they went on to continue to suck. So, anyway, oh, wow. So, it was, July 16th. Yeah, that sounds about right. 1945. You know, it's really too bad King isn't here because, you know, we just saw this movie. First test detonation of an atomic bomb. Trinity site, Alamogordo in New Mexico as part of the U.S. Manhattan Project. This is it. This is when they did it. So, you know, so, well, let's do some quick maths here. It's 2024 minus 1945. 79 years. 79 years on this date is, you know, the events of Oppenheimer. Go watch that movie. A great movie. Moving on up to 1946, an attempt was made to recall Mayor Lapham, first time in San Franciscan history. Dang. So first time in San Francisco tried to recall a mayor. There has to be a first time for everything. Oh yeah, also in 1945, cruiser Indianapolis left San Francisco with atom bomb for Japan. So after they tested it, they had 2 others, you know, Little Boy and Fat Man. And then, of course, you know, later on the Demon Core, which was never used. And eventually, I believe they deconstructed it. But yeah. 46 as well. U.S. court-martial sentenced 46 members of the SS to death. Battle of the Bulge crimes in Dakshu. Yep. Moving on into 1947. Bobo Newsom won his 200th game, first as a Yankee, and Yanks' 18th straight in nightcap. Vic Rashi extended streak to 19. Well, that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. Anyone who watches baseball will certainly understand what just came pouring out of my mouth. I have no idea what that is. 1948, MLB manager merry-go-round. Philadelphia Phillies, Ben Chapman out, Eddie Sawyer in. New York Giants, Mel Ott out, Leo Durocher in. Brooklyn Dodgers, Durocher out, Bert Shelton in. So, do the truffle shuffle. Let's see here. 1950, single day 16-team home run record set at 37. National League 25 with American League at 12. All right. 1 year later, 1951, Len Hutton scored his 100th 100, Yorkshire versus Surrey at the Oval. And while that was going on, the novel Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Stallinger, published by Little Brown and Company. All right. 1956, Detroit Tigers in Briggs Stadium sold for a then record $5.5 million, which, you know, is a laughable amount today. You can't even build a stadium for that little amount of money. You have to pour hundreds of millions, you know, into those things. And to sell them, you know, they're probably going to be selling for billions, you know. What else do we got here? 1956, we have the last Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey circus under a canvas tent. Ooh. I'm pretty sure the circus I went to was under a canvas tent, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm certain, but I'm not entirely certain. So, I was a kid, and like, everything's all magical, mystical, and all that stuff. Oh, going to the circus. 1956 or 1957, U.S. Marine Major John Glenn sets transcontinental speed record, 3 hours, 28 minutes, and 8 seconds. That is very fast to go from coast to coast. Oh. 1960, 205,000, a record sports attendance, saw Brazil-Uruguay World Cup soccer. Yeah, they're very big about their football. So, 1960 as well, George Crowe set record of 12 pinch hit home runs with a runner on. Nice. 1963, Amazon River carried 190,000 meters cubed a second of water, a record. And that sounds like a lot. Let's see here. 190,000 meters cubed. Let's see if there's any way cubed to cubed. Huh. Oh, this is going to require math, and I'm not good at that. So anyway, we're going to move on up into 1965. Mont Blanc Road Tunnel between France and Italy opened. All right. Pretty cool. 1966, Nigeria became the first Anglophone independent state in Africa to become an associate member of European Economic Community. Yeah! Dude. Awesome. Awesome-o-possum-o, man. Like, Anglophone independent states. What does Anglophone mean? Like, let's just look this up here really quick. Anglophone crisis, huh? The Ambazonia War or the Cameroon Civil War, huh? Okay. It was an ongoing armed conflict in the English-speaking northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, part of the long-standing Anglophone problem, following the suppression of 2016 to 2017. But this is new. Okay. 2017. I'm looking about 1966. Okay. Let's see here. Origins of the Anglophone crisis. Okay, so it goes as far back as 1972. So maybe this has something to do with it? I mean, it is economic stuff. So that's going to require some significant digging. 1966, number of banned persons in South Africa totals 936. The individuals are banned under various laws, most prominently the suppression of communism and riotous assembly acts. Well, yeah, get communists the hell out of there. I 100% agree. 1967, U.S. pop rock group The Monkees performed at Forest Hills Tennis Stadium in Queens, New York, with psychedelic rock Jimi Hendrix Experience as opening act. Nice. That's one really cool lineup. And we have some more music history here in 1967 as well. British rock band The Who began first full U.S. tour, appearing at the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco, California, and then going coast to coast, opening for Herman's Hermits. Alright. Cool. We also have a Canadian singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell made her Newport Folk Festival debut at a Songwriters Workshop performance in Newport, Rhode Island. Alright. Cool. So, three music stuff in a row. And then, 1967, we have Prison Brawl ignites barracks, killing 37 in Jay, Florida. Oh, wow. Music, prison. Huh. Gee, that escalated quickly. 1967, Apollo 11 was launched, carrying the first men to land on the moon. And I wonder if they intentionally... Well, I mean, you don't really have a lot of wiggle room when it, in regards of, space, science and all that stuff. Like, to send a rocket up there, you have to do it at a certain time of a certain day, certain, time of year, and like... So, I'm not sure. I was thinking, would they have chosen this date because of the Trinity test? I'm not sure if they have such luxuries. They might have back then, because there was not really that much space junk. But now, if you want to send anything into space, especially out of our, out of our own little, self-created Oort cloud, for lack of a better term, if you want to send anything to the moon or Mars or anything, you gotta not only plan the trajectory and the gravitational forces, all that stuff, But you got to get that rocket through our freaking belt of debris. So, good luck. 1969 as well. Minnesota Twins Rod Carew stole home for his career best 7th time of the season against Chicago. All right. 1970, Iraq's constitution went into effect. That's pretty cool. 1972, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles' final live performance in Washington, D.C. Pretty interesting. The same calendar dates about the formation of Washington, D.C., so yeah. 1972, during Watergate hearings, Butterfield reveals existence of tapes. The Watergate tapes, yep. And one of the biggest scandals in our political history. It's so massive. It's actually it's a misnomer itself, or like a moniker itself. Like, oh, this is his Watergate, or this is his Katrina, stuff like that. 1979 actually, Iraqi President Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr was succeeded by Saddam Hussein. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yo, dude, like, it's a real shame you had to go because, oh my god, so many historical
I've been listening, but...
Okay, good.
Haven't been able to talk.
That's unfortunate. So you do know what's happened, though. That's good.
Yes.
The Trinity test, Like,
yeah.
That's massive, man. Like, I kind of want to watch that movie again. You know what movie we got to see, though? Like, I know we both have seen it, like, probably half a dozen times each. But we have got to sit down and watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is a masterpiece of a movie.
Masterpiece.
Yes. Oh, man. Like, we got to change the name of Masterpiece.
Talk about your kick-ass female leads, man. Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
She came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, and that was the I guess, like, re-debut of Short Round, her husband.
Oh, her husband's Short Round?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Huh.
No. Her husband is the same actor. Like, that's Short Round from Indiana Jones. And he was also apparently in The Goonies. Same actor.
Yeah.
But, like, he spent the past 30-some-odd years just, being a normal person, and then he comes back into Hollywood with flying colors, Like, God. Anybody who sits there and calls me a racist, anyone who sits there and calls me a sexist, I'll sit there and point to that movie and be like, I have counter evidence. Absolutely not. Like, as you said, female lead, Asian, one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion, if it isn't the greatest. That movie, I have no words for it. It is so amazing, So... But anyway, let's get back on track with history here. What do we got here? Where was I? 1980. Polish.
1980, Polish railway workers blocked railway to Russia.
That's interesting. I'm going to look that up here really quick. I want to know why they were doing that. It has something to do with, like, the Soviet Union? Oh, Lublin strikes. Okay. Were the series of workers' strikes in the eastern part of the city of Lublin, the People's Republic of Poland, demanding better salaries and lower prices of food products. They began on July 8, 1980, at the State Avalon Works in Swindek, a town located on the outskirts of Lublin. By mid-July of 1980, some 50,000 local workers from more than 150 enterprises went on strike. These strikes marked the beginning of important socio-political changes in Poland, such as the creation of Solidarity and democratization of the country, heralding a wave of protests later referred to as August 1980 strikes. Huh. So, wow. So, like, whatever this little, tidbit is, it has to have something to do with this. I'm sure they talk about it in here, but I'm not going to sit here and read the entire wiki page trying to find this specific instance. But yeah. All right, so some major, like, changes in Poland happening there. Now this next one is just like, why?
1982.
81.
81. Oh. 1981, Shukani Keys spins 72 plates simultaneously.
I want to see if they have a, oh, they're not showing it to me. Well, let's see if I can find it on Ecosia here. Or spinning the plates simultaneously. Oh, what the hell? Okay, so it has to be a group. But dude, what? Look at this. They're all balancing and spinning plates. That is so. And they're doing like standing on each other like human pyramid type things. Like,
that's weird.
That is wild. I'd love to see that. Like, you know, like in person. Like, you know, that is amazing choreography right there, or choreography. So anyway, oops. That is what I want to do. That was not what I want to do. Whoopsie. Hold on a second. Gotta bring my history back here. We are moving on up into 1982.
1982 CDC report on AIDS symptoms in 3 hemophiliacs.
Huh. And hemophiliacs are, I believe, people who can't stop bleeding. Like, they don't have... Yeah.
They don't scab.
Yeah. So, like, you know, that would make sense, you know, use them as scientific tests because, you know, they don't scab over. You can get a lot more blood out of them. Sounds kind of nasty, but, you know, if you're gonna test things, you know, test the hemophiliacs first.
1982, some young moon sentenced to 18 months for tax fraud. Cult leader.
Now I put that in, you know,
cult leader.
Now I don't want to sit here and, you know, be accusing him of a cult leader, of being a cult leader, but I just put that in for lack of a better term because
none of you guys started a church.
He was an evangelicist, yes. Yeah. Like, he was known for Unification Church marriage ceremonies, where thousands of couples were married in mass events. So, like, mass marriages and all that stuff. He faced legal issues and convicted for filing false federal income tax returns in the United States versus Sun Myung Moon case in 1982. But wait a minute, aren't churches tax exempt? How is he getting hit with this?
Because it wasn't, I don't know, a fake church?
It wasn't a real church?
I don't know. That's what would be my guess.
No, it says here he served 13 months in prison, which led to public discussions about religious freedom. Moon also involved himself in anti-communist advocacy and supported Korean reunification efforts. Huh. Well,
maybe he didn't go through the right process of building his church, like, you know, on paper.
Yeah,
I don't know what that process would be. Like, oh, I'm a church. I'm not going to pay any taxes anymore. I don't think that's how, you know.
Yeah, maybe that's it, the reason. Because, like, you know, now I feel even worse for, like, you know, invalidly calling him a cult leader because, like, right as I read this already here, anti-communist advocacy. Wow, yes. And supporting Korean unification, Korean reunification efforts. So, like, he wants to reunify Korea, which I'm all for, but from the south to the north. You know? Like, they gotta unify under the south being on top. You get what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
So this guy, he was a good guy.
Okay, he's a good guy. It sounds
like. Yeah. He was a good guy. Actually, where is Cheongju, Korea? Let's look at this at a map because depending on where he was from.
Oh, it's in Korea. So okay.
Yeah, no, he was born in Korea, and he wants Korean reunification, but where exactly is he from in Korea? Okay, so he's in South Korea. So he's deep in South Korea. So I was right what I said earlier. He wants South and North Korea to reunify, but with South Korea being the dominant. So the winner, so to speak. Like, I'm all like, man, this guy's kind of like a hero to me now. Just for that. Like, maybe you're 100% right. Maybe you just didn't go through the proper avenues, you know, to become tax exempt, and he just got kind of screwed. So,
are they tax exempt in Korea?
I don't know, but this happened in the U.S. He was convicted in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Federal income tax returns in the United States. Right here. So, that's an eyebrow raiser right there. I'm going to restart my music here really quick so that way there's no dead air. Anyway, we got to move on up. What else do we got here? 1983. Sikorsky S-61 disaster. A helicopter crashed off the islands of Sicily, causing 20 fatalities in Britain's worst helicopter accident. Yikes. That sucks.
20?
Yeah.
20 people can fit on a helicopter?
Oh, you can fit a lot of people on a helicopter. Like, especially the bigger ones. And I'm not even talking about Chinooks. Some of these bigger, even Vietnam era helicopters. Hold on a second. Vietnam big helicopter. There's like a 2-story helicopter thing. I'm trying to find it. It's like a cargo helicopter. This thing here, like this. They're they're up here on the 2nd floor, like piloting, and the entire 1st floor. This is all for cargo. You can fit 20, 30, maybe 50 people, like sardines, but you can still fit them in there, no problem. So, have you gone to any aviation museum or anything like that? Seen any of these helicopters up close?
No.
Ah, well, you definitely got to. They're big, man. I've
seen medical ones up close. That's it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, even a Huey. They're on the smaller side of helicopters. They transport entire squads. You can fit 5, 6, some odd people in there, with the gunners and the pilots and everything. Medevac, you can fit 4 stretchers in that thing, stuff like that. What else do we got here? 1985, bill to abolish Greater London Council received royal assent. Okay. It's telling me here to look that up, but we're already almost an hour in, and I just want to get through this here. Go. Yeah. You want to tell us about 1987 here?
1987, Don Mattingly hits his 4th grand slam of the season, ties AL record of homers in 6 straight games, on a way to tie major league record of 8.
Huh. They changed it a little bit here. They had New York Yankees, Don Mattingly. Hold on a second. Don't you hate it when you have to suddenly sneeze?
Yeah. 1988, Carl Lewis runs wind-assisted 100 meters in 9.78. What's wind assisted?
He had a tailwind. He was running and the wind was blowing from behind him, pushing him forward. You know when you're riding a bike and you have a headwind or a tailwind,
Yeah.
So right. Every little bit helps.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
1988, Jackie Joyner Curse sets women's hemophiliac record of 7,215 points. What?
Let me see here.
Hepathlete.
Hepathlete. Heptathlete.
What the fuck is heptathlete record?
Let me look that up here really quick. It's like a multiple event person. Heptathlon is a track and field combined events contest made up of 7 events. So
that's right. The 7 event one, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is my music even playing? No, it's not. Huh. Okay, well, it's Google's being stupid. All right. Now it's playing. Okay, that was weird. I was wondering why I wasn't hearing anything. What else do we got here?
1988, landmark Japanese animated cyberpunk manga film Akira releases, directed by Kazushiro Otomo.
Oh man, that's another great movie.
Oh yeah.
And the soundtrack to that. Oh man, dude, the
great flick.
The opening, when you're getting all the shots while they're riding through the city of of the city. Akira riding through the city. This one here, this music is awesome. Well, this is not that is not the right music at all. Well, would this be it? Kanada's theme, maybe. Yeah, this is it. I mean, it goes so well with the visual, dude. Wow. Great movie. We gotta watch this movie too. Okay, hold on a second. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Akira. I'm gonna start making a list of movies I want to see. Whenever we mention it, because how many times have we mentioned we gotta see this movie? We've never gone on to see. Only the Brave. You haven't seen that movie, have you? You said.
Only the Brave.
Only the Brave.
Maybe.
That's the fire one from the Hot Shots. We spoke about that a couple weeks back. It was the anniversary of that event. The 19 out of 20 firefighting crew that perished in the fire. Anyway, let's move on up here. 1988 as well. San Antonio, the Texas League defeated Jackson 1-0 in 26 innings. Wow, that took a while. They just really wanted to win. They would not let it go until somebody got a score. So, 1989, South Africa's largest labor federation, the Congress of South Africa's trade unions, held its third annual Congress and intensified its campaign against apartheid. Yes! Down with apartheid! Well, it's already been down, but yeah. Off of main source, 1989, U.S. Open Women's Golf, Indianwood Golf and Country Club. Betsy King won the first of her 2 consecutive titles, 4 strokes ahead of runner-up Nancy Lopez. Okay. What do we got here in 1990?
1990, 400 die in a 7.7 earthquake in the Philippines. Oh boy.
That is one heck of a quake right there. Oh.
Also in 1990, civil trial by parents of suicide victims against Judas Priest brigades. What?
Basically, people who are listening to Judas Priest, like the emos, the goths, all those that group of people, or at least at the very beginnings, the edgelords, like they're listening to this music, be like, oh, nobody understands me, and then they end up killing themselves.
I don't get it. Judas Priest is fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Some people react to things in very weird ways. What's her face? His face. Marilyn Manson, though, is like a strong, proponent, not proponent, but like a causer of native reactions. Huh. We got another. You got 3 more 90s here.
1990, New York City's Empire State Building catches fire with no fatalities.
Dang. Oh, the Empire State.
The ANC sent a report on police volunteer to President F.W. de Klerk and demand an end to the shocking inhumanity of police action in rural areas of South Africa.
Yeah, so the African National Convention, I believe, is what ANC stands for. And de Klerk, he was. I'm trying to figure out, was he the one? No, de Klerk is the one against apartheid. So P.W. Botha was the one for apartheid, I believe. Yeah, P.W. Botha. Yeah. Yeah, he won a white referendum to continue his reforms and negotiated with Mandela and the ANC, resulting in South Africa's first free elections 2 years later in 1994. So this guy, brought upon the end of apartheid.
No.
And so,
yeah.
Anyway, this next one here is rather topical for today.
Oh yeah, 1990, Ukraine declares independence.
Yeah, that was when the Soviet Union was still around, so it was splitting off from the Soviet Union, and then now, now frickin' Putin, who's trying to become the next czar, is trying to reestablish the Union. Oh. Moving on up into 1993, S. Van Roosevelt's Winter Landscape sold for £705,500 in London. That's actually, not a lot of, money for artwork when you think about it, especially in today's world. But the art industry is so obviously money laundering. It's ridiculous. Let's see here. Okay, Winter Landscape. There's a couple of these here. So I don't know exactly which one it was. You know what? Let's just look up the entire article. See, okay, so we're still getting multiple ones, but this one here is the most common one popping up. So this one sold for just over £700,000. That's pretty heavy. Anyway, 1993 as well, San Francisco outfielder Darren Lewis set record of 267 consecutive errorless games. Wow! Wow! How do you do that? That is... Like, did you just hear what I read, dude? 267 consecutive errorless games. How do you not miss up? 1994, the three tenors, Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, and Luciano Pavarotti, performed with Los Angeles Philharmonic and chorus of the Los Angeles Opera, conducted by Zuba and Mehta at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. An estimated 1.3 billion, not ma-illion, ba-illion viewers watched worldwide broadcast. Wow. And I wish I was just a little bit older to understand, how awesome that was, back then. You were 10 years old, and I was 7? Was I 7? Yeah, 4 and 3 equals 7. Actually, no, you were 13. You were 13. That makes more sense. So
yeah, in 94, 13.
Yeah. 94 as well. Baseball Night in America premiered. No Saturday day games. All right. And we also have Comet Schumacher-Levy first collided with Jupiter, and collisions would continue until July 22nd. That's like, one of those piecemeal. Like, it broke up, and it's like slowly. Like, we saw something more recently about, a comet or an asteroid being eaten by Jupiter in chunks. You remember that? We also have a Spanish fishing boat sunk a French fishing boat over fishing rights. Yo. Like, legitimate whale wars here. Fishing edition. Like, civilians are attacking each other over fishing. Like, wow. And then 1999, before we go on to the next millennium, we have John F. Kennedy Jr., his wife Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, and sister-in-law Lauren Bessette were killed in a plane crash off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. Oh, I know where that is. The Piper Saratoga aircraft was piloted by Kennedy. So, we all remember that, another Kennedy, going down. That family really is cursed. Anyway, we got an off of main source here article in the year 2000. Would you care to take these?
Sorry, 2000.
2000. From the script.
2000 Senior Players Championship Men's Golf TPC in Michigan. Raymond Floyd wins his fourth and final Champions Tour major by one stroke from Larry Nelson and Dana Quigley.
That's close. His fourth and final Champions Tour. Congratulations. I remember when this came out. 2001?
2001 Jurassic Park 3 starring Sam Neill and William H. Macy premieres in the U.S.
Dude, I loved the commercials for Jurassic Park 3. They had like a raptor hand, like Claw the 3, in the screen. I love that. And, oh, here we go.
Martha Stewart is sentenced to 5 months in prison plus 5 months in home confinement for lying to federal investigators.
Yeah, the Enron scandal. Like, I forgot to add that in. Enron. Insider trading scandal. Yeah, like, it was because she was doing insider trading with Enron and shit, right? Like, do you remember the whole...
I thought she was doing insider trading.
Yeah, with Enron. Enron is a
Yeah.
company that folded, and she sold a bunch of stock shares of them before they folded, while they were still up. Like she got some insider information and acted, you know, with information that people didn't have. Thus, making her able to make money before everybody was sent to the poorhouse. Also in 2004, Millennium Park, considered the first and most ambitious agricultural or architectural project in the early 21st century of Chicago, was opened to the public by Mayor Richard M. Daley. And that's that one where they converted like an unused like freeway overpass or something, right? Millennium Park. Let's see here, Chicago. Oh no, it wasn't. It's just a stupid bean thing. Okay. Well, I guess this entire park. That is a huge park. So this whole thing here is Millennium Park.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So wow. But yeah, this is where that one bean is. Like you recognize that, right? Like this sculpture thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old bean.
Although that's weird. Like this picture. If it look actually not that picture. Where did it go? This picture. This is weird. Well, this has to be. You can tell that it's raised, but like if you look at it, this looks like from this vantage point, it looks like it's smack dab in the middle of the city. And if you pay attention, you can kind of see trees, right here. But then if you look at this picture, you see it's surrounded by trees. So like maybe you couldn't see them because it was taken like in the fall and all the trees were barren or something. But I always thought like it was in the middle of like some just concrete square in the middle of the city. I had no idea it was surrounded by greenery. I'd love to go visit that. What else do we got here? 2005.
2005, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the sixth book in the series by J.K. Rowling, is published worldwide. 9 million copies sold in 24 hours.
Wow. 2007, an earthquake of magnitude 6.8 and aftershock of 6.6 occurred off the Niigata coast in Japan, killing 8 people with at least 800 additional injuries and damaging a nuclear power plant. Oh, Fukushima! See 2007 Chuisu offshore earthquake. No, this is not Fukushima. Fukushima was 2009, right? I think so. So wow. So a different nuclear power plant got damaged in an earthquake I didn't even know about. That's what is it with Japan and nuclear things like you'd think that they wouldn't be messing with it after what happened in 45 twice, but yeah. Anyway, 2012. You're the comic guy, so I'll let you read this one.
The Dark Knight Rises, directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway, premieres in New York.
Oh, yes, Batman. The Dark Knight Rises.
No.
I'm Bane. I have a nuclear bomb. Ha 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 ha.
I have an English accent.
Yes, my entire character is supposed to be based off of a Mexican luchador, but I am not one. Ha 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 ha.
Right.
The plot thickens, Batman, as I twirl my mustache. Oh. What do we got here? 2013, 27 children were killed and 25 more were hospitalized after eating lunch contaminated with insecticide in India. Yikes!
Oh my god.
Wow. I hope they all are, okay. Oh wait, no, obviously not. 27 were killed. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess the concept of children dying from eating lunch was so unfathomable to me. I just this didn't click. Wow, that's awful. Yeah. 1 year later, death toll within Gaza surpassed 200 people following airstrikes by Israel. Here we go again. Oh. And 2014 as well, Hamas and Islamic Jihad offer Israel a 10-year truce with 10 conditions, which included lifting the blockade and the release of prisoners. It was rejected, but by who? The fact that they're not saying it was rejected by Hamas, it only says it was rejected by Israel. And with this being a leftist source, they don't want to They don't want to make their lords and masters look bad. And then 2014, Israel intensifies strikes on Gaza. All of these are obviously connected because it all happened on the same day, same year, same area. So I don't know which is chronological, but yeah. Anyway, some really good science, really groundbreaking science, stuff happening here in 2014. You want to talk to us about this?
Hamas and Islamic Jihad. What?
2015.
Like 15.
Scientists
reveal first close-up pictures of Pluto sent by New Horizons probe. Nice.
Yeah, you remember the picture of Pluto with a heart and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a video about it. Like here we go. This photo. Actually, these. Well, yeah, this used to be what we had, and then this is what we got now. And there's a whole video out there about how they're setting the probe, and it's all on a wing and a prayer. If anything went wrong, all that money was wasted. But thankfully nothing went wrong, and they nailed it. Yeah, these guys here, they legitimate cheering. They had to wait 9 some odd years.
Yeah. To get out there.
Yeah. So you've seen the video I'm talking about, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, here we go. What else do we got here in 2015?
Shootings in Chattanooga at U.S. Military Recruitment Center and a Naval Reserve. Training kills 5 and injures others.
Oh man.
Wow.
There's nothing I can say that hasn't already been said 1,001 times over, especially in the past 72 hours. Enough with the shootings. Government, we get it. You want gun control, but you're never going to have it, no matter, how many, things happen, how many Sandy Hooks, how many Uvaldes, how many events that happened a couple days ago. You will never, ever part American citizens from their guns. So just learn how to work with it. So, yeah. 2017, BBC announced first ever female Doctor Who will be played by Jodie Whittaker. And the entire series took a massive shit.
They totally ruined it.
Yep. Not because, she's a woman. Oh, woo. No, it's because of the
they're
attitude.
Bad writers.
The attitude. We have to shoehorn in a female woman, because, girl power, DEI, DEI. You freaking losers. Just everything they touch turns to shit. And everything they touch turns to shit because they're trying to turn it to shit. I mean,
another beloved series that was, part of a male culture.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, I mean,
one less thing for us to have.
At the risk of sounding like some form of ism or phobic that I am very much not, but I mean, there used to be the stereotype, women don't understand men. They don't understand, Star Wars. They don't understand Star Trek. They don't understand. So it just seems to me that, whenever a man is happy in the proximity of a woman, if they're not the cause of the happiness, they have to come in and crush it, And, that sounds very ignorant, of me to say, but look no further than Kathleen Kennedy. Doesn't understand Star Wars. Oh, I don't understand this. Oh, this makes men happy? That's icky. I'm going to go in and put a stop to it right now. And she did. Women, find your own thing. Why can't you be happy? Why does other people being happy make you mad? Why do you have to ruin everything? Why does all this DEI crap have to ruin everything? All the social justice crap, just ruins everything. Get your own shit. Fuck off. Anyway, what else do we got here in 2017?
2017, BBC announces first ever 12th Littleton men's tennis. Roger Federer beats Marin Cleef 6-3, 6-1, 6-4 for a record of 8 Wimbledon's men's titles.
That's impressive. 8 titles, congratulations. You got another sports one here right before it. The Kawhi Leonard. That's a name.
Kawhi Leonard re-signs with the San Antonio Spurs to a 5-year contract, $90 million contract. Oof.
Yeah. Moving on up to 2018, 2 new moons were discovered orbiting Jupiter, bringing planet's moon total to 79 by scientists at Carnegie Institution for Science. Wow. 79 moons. I mean, like, there's a meme out there. Hold on a second. Jupiter walking its moons. Let's see if I can find it. I guess meme? Oh, here we go. Like, will you have another one? Nah, too much responsibility. So Earth with this one moons. Don't want to end up like Jupiter. Look at Jupiter. This is not the meme I was thinking of, but this is another good one. Like, there's a meme out there of, like, Earth, like, with our moon, and he has a dog leash. Something like this. This is a different rendition. It's balloons. But, Jupiter with its 79 moons. Why can't I find the exact meme I'm trying to find? Oh, well. Anyway, what else do we got here? 2018, historic cemetery from 1878 through 1911 announced discovered near Houston, Texas, containing 95 remains thought to be black U.S. citizens forced into labor. So I guess technically African Americans, slaves. So, so a slave graveyard or a slave yard? No, I don't know. Slave graveyard maybe found. Although 1878, that's after the Civil War. That's well after the Civil War. So it would not be slaves at all. Huh. Or maybe, people, who were slaves and survived. So maybe still. No. Anyway, 2018 as well, the musical film sequel, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Premiered at Hammersmith Apollo London. Worldwide box office receipts total over $400 million. That's pretty good. Now, here we go. You want to take this last 2018 and then the couple... actually, take the last 4.
Alright. 2018 U.S. Donald Trump appears to accept the world of Russian President Vladimir Putin over U.S. intelligence services about Russian meddling in 2016 election. In an interview after the two leaders at the Helsinki summit.
Yeah, so essentially he, despite our intelligence services saying, one thing, Trump listens to Putin and listens to the word of Putin. So he believes Putin more than our own, intelligence services, which that doesn't mean that he's a Putin supporter. That just means he values our government so little that other governments have more merit. And, once again, I am not a Trump supporter, but I 100% agree with him, 100%. I trust Putin more than I trust the Secret Service, especially after again, the CIA, the FBI, all that, the criminals, all of them. All those organizations need to be dissolved, and everybody in them needs to be put behind bars for life. All of them. I don't care if I'm making a sweeping generalization. I am done with this crap. No. Anyway, what else do we got here?
2023 highest temperature ever recorded in China, 126 Fahrenheit.
Woo!
Sunbao Township in Xinjiang's Turpan Depression.
So, like, a depression is like kind of like when the land goes down in here. So all the heat kind of just bottles, and it doesn't like the wind doesn't come in and push it away. It just kind of hangs there, So 126 degrees, man, that is hot, man. That's hot. I got some music here.
2023 jam rock band Dead and Company and growth of the Grateful Dead plays the final show on its final concert tour at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California.
Huh. I could have gone there. Damn. Shucks. Well, then again, it's San Francisco. I don't want to go there. You know. I've been there twice already. That's enough. And uno mas, good sir.
2023 Persian Gulf International Airport on Iran's southwestern coast hits an heat index high of 152 degrees Fahrenheit at 12:30 p.m. way beyond what humans can endure.
I mean, I was freaking out, the other day. They were like 158 degrees for like 2 minutes, like that one article. Like, like
right.
that weird thing. But 152 degrees, like, that will kill you.
Wow.
That will kill you. Like,
walk outside is like being punched in the face. Just
bam!
Like,
I'm not sure if you've experienced anything like this, but like, something like, you're in Las Vegas, you're in one of the casinos, it's air conditioned, and you walk out, and it's like literally like stepping into an oven. You can feel there's a wall, like right.
Yeah, you feel the wall is like, ugh.
And that's when it's 98. Like,
yeah.
Wow, that would. I'm surprised people didn't die from that. Anyway, that shall conclude the show for today. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We're not just on Rumble or on YouTube. We're also on BitChute and Odyssey. For anyone who, wants to dabble in other, platforms, outside of, some of the bigger boys and all that stuff. So links to those as well as other places are, in our link tree, down in the underbar there. For your dose of passive events daily, we stream every day, or at least try to, at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows. We have the Omni Coalition News Show, Weird On and Unusual Notable Events, Weather, and Sports every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. The Omni Coalition Show, we had a great show yesterday, talking about, this whole, Trump thing that happened a couple days ago. The primary subject, of course, of yesterday's show. Every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. We have other shows in the works, one way or another. For the Omni Kitchen, we're waiting until, for another couple of months until things cool down so the kitchen is habitable, for us to get on that. And InoSH, which, we really got to get on that, King. We really gotta watch like Rubber. Have you seen the movie Rubber? Okay, we gotta do that. Like, we gotta at least watch some movies and start recording.
I've seen the movie Flubber.
No, this is about a tire. This is about a tire with telekinetic abilities, and it blows up people's heads with its mind. Yeah, it's a psyker tire or something. But yeah, no, so anyway, if you want to catch us live, if you're on the West Coast, it's 11 and 3 all for thee, Mountain 12 and 4, watch us for more, Central 1 and 5 for the Contrive, East 2 and 6 for your fix. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
King's Refuge.
And you, viewer, are you. Thank you once again so much for watching. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Deuces.
Where's the thing here? And stream.